Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a makeup palette collection. So I've got a lot out in front of me. I counted over 50, but I've got a few that are in the giveaway box as well that I haven't counted, so probably over 50 I've put. So I'm just going to go through them because basically I did a makeup collection video not long ago, which I will post up on this video so you can go check that out if you haven't already. But I thought I would just do separate ones on some of the products that I own because I have a lot of them and just interesting to go through it. So we're just going to go through them, have a little chat, tell you which ones are my favourites, which ones I wouldn't really recommend and stuff like that. So if you want to see my collection and know a bit more about some of the palettes in case you maybe want to buy them for yourself, then carry on watching and enjoy the video. So there is a lot out in front of me. I'm not going to do this in any particular order just because they are all just piled up in front of me. So the first one we've got here is the IT Cosmetics palette. This is the Naturally Pretty Romantics. This is a really cute packaging. It's like it's different to many others because you basically lift up the bottom and it comes up like this. This is a really pretty palette. It's got some really nice pastels in it. It's got some purples, pinks, and you can create some really pretty looks with this. So I do like this one a lot. We've got this one which I have not even touched yet. I got sent it by New View Cosmetics and it's a really pretty palette. So you've got some really cute shimmers in here. There's a lot of shimmers actually which are quite chunky shimmers, which I really like because I feel like you can create so many different looks with them. And then there's also some kind of red tones and a random green in there as well. So I think I could create quite a few looks with this and I haven't even opened it yet. So it would be interesting to maybe use this in a future video. So I can't really tell you too much about that one. These two next palettes are from TIK Cosmetics. I had never heard of them before and they sent me these two palettes and honestly they are these two are top in my palettes. They're not the best, but they are definitely one of my favourites. This one is Brick Fun. So their packaging is so cool. This is like a wooden one, so if you open it up you've got some really nice shimmer shades. These are all shimmers, so there's 9 of these in here and they're all different colours. The only ones I've tried so far in this palette are the 2 blue ones, but honestly this blue is my favourite shimmer I've used, I think, because it's so pretty on your eyes and you can just make some really pretty looks with it. And the other palette I've got from them is this neon palette as well from TIK Cosmetics. And again, I love the packaging. It's all blue with neon writing, and then inside are just some neon shades. So I haven't got many neon palettes. I don't think I've got any actually. This is the only one. And look how bright these colours are. And I've used almost all the colours in this palette because I was so excited to use it. And honestly, all of them are so bright, so pigmented. You get a lot of product in there and I just couldn't recommend these enough because they are actually really good. And I was very pleasantly surprised when they arrived. So the next two I've got are Pixie. So they sent me both of these, the small one and the bigger one. So these are they're basically kind of very similar. They've got the standard green mint kind of packaging that they usually have, and this one is more like brown shades. You've got small packaging here, and this one is more of a bigger one, and these are all shimmer shades. So I have not dipped into any of these palettes yet. So these again are two that I need to try out in a future video, which I just haven't got around to doing yet. So this one is from Essence, which I think is really cool. It's got like the coolest packaging. I don't know if you can see, but it's got like little sequins inside that move around, which is cute. And this is the palette inside, so it's not like that amazing, but this came in a glossy box a very long time ago. But you've just got like a nude, brown, pink and silver, and they're good, they're pigmented. It's like a good little carry case, I think, if you're going away and you just want some standard basic colours. That's definitely a good palette. Haven't got anything bad to say about that one. And the next one is one of my favourite palettes I own. This is the Morphe and Jeffree Star palette. You've seen me probably do videos on this in the past, either on my Instagram or on my YouTube. I love this palette. So you get so many different colours. All my clients have probably seen this palette as well because I use this on them all as well. Oh, these nails. I love these nails. I'll comment down below in the description where you can get them. They're press-on ones, so you don't actually have to go out, you know, because of COVID and all that. You don't have to go out to get them done, but I do keep stabbing them in the palettes. So let me just press that down. I've got it all over my leg as well, so that's nice. So yeah, this palette, you've just got so many different colours. You can create so many different looks with it. I haven't used all the colours yet, but I always use this pink and I always use these greens. And for clients, this gold is like, everybody loves this gold. I've used it on almost most of my palette. Most of my palettes. I've used this on most of my clients because they love this gold shimmer. But this pink for makeup looks and these greens are amazing. They're so like, they feel so nice. That's how you can kind of tell that the product is just so good and they've made it well, because it feels so nice. And yeah, all these colours really work very nicely. And this silver as well, it's really pretty shimmery shade. So one of my favourite palettes, that one. And another collab with Morphe is James Charles. Another one of my favourites. I've only used this palette twice. But this is the mini palette, so I didn't want to get the big one because I just thought, what's the point? I know you can just get a mini for cheaper. So I've got the mini palette here. And this one, I like a palette. It's very rare to get, I find. Maybe not for other people, but for me, I find it hard to look at a palette and just think of a makeup look. But with some of my palettes that I've got, I can look at them and just create a lot of different makeup looks, which is good to have. So this one is definitely one of them. You've got your brown shades, standard kind of gold shimmery shades that you can use in a day-to-day look, or you've got really bright like red, orange, blues, purples, pinks, greens, yellows, literally every colour. So this is definitely good for beginners, for experienced makeup artists. It's kind of a palette for all. And I was pleasantly surprised when I got this as well, actually, because I wasn't really expecting that much. Even though everyone was going on about it, I was just like, I don't really care that much. Even though I do like James Charles, but yeah, but now I've got this, I'm really impressed and I'm glad I bought it. It's definitely worth the money. So this next one is quite an old one I've had for quite a while. This is the Urban Decay, I think it's Heavy Metals palette, I think. But basically, I love the packaging. It's like purple, shiny, and you pull it out sideways and you've got all these shimmers. So I love this, and you can take it out as well. So this is the palette. So you've got so many different shimmer shades. I like this. This is like all golds and reds, and this is all like purples, greens, blues, so colourful shimmer shades. But it's very handy to have this in case you're wanting to do a shimmery look. You've got every shimmer shade you need in that one. And that's from Urban Decay. While we're on Urban Decay, I'll get the other palettes as well that I've got. So I've got this Naked palette, which is super old. This is one of the first palettes I ever owned, which really got me into makeup. Urban Decay really did get me into makeup because my mum was buying me makeup for Christmas and my birthdays and stuff like that. And then me and my mum went to like a makeup masterclass with Urban Decay as well. And I had a job interview there. So I've had a lot of experience with Urban Decay, which is, you know, they're one of my favourite brands, and I really like all their products really. So this is the Naked palette. This is just the standard one. And as you can see, I've had it a long time. It is a bit dirty, but yeah, this is all just your standard browns, golds, kind of neutral shades all the way up to from white to black. So I love that palette, and it was always a go-to. I haven't used this in honestly about a year, but it's a really good palette. And another Urban Decay one is the Heat palette. My mum bought me this one for Christmas maybe 2 years ago, maybe one, I'm not sure. But I love this palette. I've used this a lot as well, and it's just got all your warm shades in, all your warm tones. So reds, gold, like purples, reds, nudie shades, you know, all the ones that you can use just to make a warm eye look, which it's good to have. I like to have like a palette for each thing basically. Oh, another Urban Decay one here. This is another Urban Decay one. This is the Full Spectrum palette. Now this again is super old. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. I'm pretty sure this got discontinued. But this was one of my favourite palettes when I started doing like creative looks, because I hadn't started doing them from the beginning, and then I started doing them, and I was using this palette because it's like a rainbow one. I love the packaging as well. I think it's so cool. But this is the palette. So as you can see, there's so many different rainbow colours. You've got basically every colour in there. So when I was first creating makeup looks and creative eye looks and stuff like that, and rainbow eyes and stuff, this was like the palette I would go to because it just has every colour in there that you need, and it was definitely a really good beginner palette. So I recommend that as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that palette at all. And so far there's been nothing really wrong with them. There's not many palettes that I don't really like, else I wouldn't have bought it, you know. I do look into it before I buy palettes. I don't just go and buy them. But, you know, some are better than others, which, So this one as well is super old. This is the Shan XO and BH Cosmetics palette. This is an eyeshadow palette here. This is one of my first palettes I got as well, actually. When I started watching YouTube, I was watching Shan for a little bit and I ended up getting her palette. So this is like just neutral tones basically, and then on the other side are lipsticks. So I really like this palette because I just thought it was really cool and different, which is very true, and it still is very different, which is why I like it. My next one is Blood Sugar palette, my baby. I love this palette. My boyfriend got me this for Christmas. And yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it. I love Jeffree Star. I love the packaging. It's so cool. It's got like buckles here and you open it up. And this is inside, so it's got so many red shades. It's got this white, which I, as you can see, use a lot because it's very hard to find a white that is just completely white and it's pigmented as well, and this one is definitely it. So if you need a white shade, this is definitely a good palette to go for. And you know, it's not just red tones, only the bottom is really red tones and purples, and then up here you've got all these brown tones, so you can still create a brown look or a bronze look, or you know, a darker smoky eye, something like that with this palette. So you can still create lots of looks. Just because it's a Blood Sugar palette does not mean all the shades are red, which I feel like a lot of people find, and people don't want to do red looks so they don't buy the palette, but it's not the case. You've got so many other colours in there. Another one my boyfriend bought me for Christmas is this one, which is Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, the Mini Controversy palette. So I wanted more from their collection, but they just kept selling out and I was like, oh, I had no money at the time. So yeah, but I love this packaging. It's small, it's really nice. This, you know, it's very different. You'd have to be a bit more creative, I think, to get this palette. Not necessarily, because, you know, you've got the browns and the like beiges kind of colour, the beige colour, but you've got like some bright blues. Like, I love this shade. It's like a lilac-y, pastel-y shade, but it's really nice. It's matte and it looks really nice on your eyes. And it's this too, the like kind of like matte blue, like baby blue, and you've got this bright purple as well. So, and I love the imprints that they do on the packaging. I love it. But yeah, that's one of my favourites as well. Anything Jeffree Star is going to be my favourites, whether it's good or not. Just because I love him. This one's Jeffree Star as well. This is the first palette that I ever got from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is the Beauty Killer palette. I just love this palette. It's like pink, it's cute, it's simple, it's got its like little mirror thing here, and then you've got these shades which are kind of random, but I kind of really like them. I love this Vanity shade. It's like it's not grey, it's like a very dark grey, but it's really nice and it's very matte. I love this Star Power as well. This is like a very hot pink. We've got this cute gold shade. We've got China White, which I use all the time as well. It's kind of like a, not white, it's like a beigey kind of shade, and this one as well. But yeah, you can create a lot of different looks with that one for sure. So the next one in front of me here is the Me, Myself and Mama Mitchell palette. So I actually have just created a makeup look with this palette, which is what I've done with my eyes here. So if you want to see how this palette is, then definitely click up above on this video and I will link the video that I've posted for this in. But yeah, this is a super colourful palette anyway. If you haven't watched the other video, you open it up and it's got a mirror inside. It's actually a double-ended, it's magnetic, double-ended mirror inside. And you've got just so many colours, and like I was saying in my video when I was actually creating this look, I was testing this palette. I just love this palette. You look at this, and like I was saying just now, you look at this and I can think of like 100 different looks that I can make. You can make a purple look with all three of these purples. There's a purpley shimmer there. You've got all your darker tones here and all your lighter tones here. These are a bit brighter, and you can do reds, oranges, yellows, literally anything. And this is one of my favourite palettes that I own because the pigment is so good and just everything. You know, I really like the look that I created today with this palette, and I think it's just really fun to work with. Yeah, and I love Beauty too, so it's good to buy something from them. Next, what should we go for next? Next is this little one. Oh. Next is this little one, little bit expensive. This is Gucci. I had to get something from Gucci, obviously, and it's just like a quad eyeshadow and it's all the pinks. So I love pink, so this is why I got the pink one. It's just got like a darker burgundy and then it's got these cute little pink shimmers in there. Then we've got this one, which I actually got to create myself, We Makeup. I absolutely love We Makeup. You'll notice in my collection that I've got a lot of their products. I'm on their PR list at the moment, so they send me stuff every time they get new products out, which I'm very grateful for, and they send me a lot of products. So this one is their palette that they sent me, Girl Powder. And I got to pick my separate shades, so they let me pick all my eyeshadows, they let me pick my lipsticks that I wanted, so whatever shades I wanted. So here is the palette that they sent me, and I put these shades in myself. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to go for, so I never tried this is the first thing they sent me, so I'd never actually tried their brand before, so I just wanted to kind of try a bit of everything. So I've got a load of their colours. I haven't actually tried this yet, but I got one of their whites just to see if it would be as white as like Jeffree Star's Blood Sugar would be. And I've got some shimmers here in the middle row, and then I've just got some greens here, which I thought I could do a green look, and I've got like more of a bright green, a mint green and a dark green, so I thought I could create like a green look with this as well, but I have not used this yet, so I'm excited to use this, and I might do it in maybe a video or something as well. This palette was sent to me by W7. This is the Socialite palette, and this is actually really pretty. This is one of my favourite palettes. I think it might be a dupe for Huda Beauty, I'm not sure. I don't have any of her palettes, but I definitely have kind of seen something very similar from her. But these are just all kind of pink shades. They're all very, got some chunky glitter in there, which I like in a palette because you don't get that very often. And they look really pretty on your eyes. So you've got a lot of chunky glitter, which I really like. And you've just got some really pretty pink shades. I haven't used this too much, so I don't know if it's any good or not. I've barely used it. But I do need to get around to it. But as you can see, there's a lot of palettes here. And so it's very hard to always be using them all, you know. And I always go to my go-to ones, so... The next palette is one of my favourites because it's just very different. This is the iconic London palette. It's very dirty, but it's been well used. So they sent me this in a PR package very kindly, and it's basically got 6 shades in it, and they're loose glitters. So if you open them up, this is just such a messy palette. But here, if you see, there's some glitter in there. This is a gold, and you've got some like... When you close it, it just goes everywhere. That is the only problem with this palette, is that it literally goes everywhere. But there's just different colours in each one, so I'll open another one. So here's like a rose gold one, but I'm not opening anymore because it's getting a mess. But I've got glitter all over my hands now. But I love that palette. That's one of my favourites, just because I love the glitter in it, and it's very useful for when you're doing client makeup as well, because a lot of clients like having like a shimmer, and that's a really, really nice loose shimmer to use. My next one, I've done a video on this, which I will put up in this video as well. This is Trending in Tokyo by BH Cosmetics. I bought this in one of my videos where I was makeup shopping on Beauty Bay, and just look at the palette. You can see why I love it, because look at my eyes. I like colourful looks, and this is just a perfect palette for if you're doing a colourful look. And I did a whole review on this, so definitely go check that out if you haven't already. But you've just got basically every single colour you need to create a colourful look. And you could do, if you want to do a pink look, you can just do a pink one, red, yellow, green, blue, purple. You can literally do like 100 looks with this. So I really, really like this palette, and I would definitely recommend. The rest that I've got are kind of ones that I barely use. So I've got this one. A lot of these are from Makeup Revolution, so I'll do them next. So I've got this one, which is Pretty Creative, which is probably the most used one from Makeup Revolution that I own. This one is just very odd, would I say? It's just got some odd colours in, so like these I would never use. I don't know why, I just don't tend to use them in palettes anyway. It's like a highlighter, I guess, but I have highlighters, so I never think to go in an eyeshadow palette to get a highlighter. But I've used this shade a lot, this blue, because this blue is really pretty, and I've used this orange as well, and I've actually used it in a video before, but I just really like some of the shades in here, but it just is a bit of a random palette. So we have this one, which is very similar to the other one, but it's just kind of darker shades, but still very pretty. Again, wouldn't use the end ones, but I still really like these palettes. I think they're really pretty. Another Makeup Revolution one I have, also came in a glossy box a long time ago, Mermaids vs Unicorns. So it's just got all these kind of green, purples and pink, greens, blues and purples in it. This is really colourful and it's really pretty. If you're wanting some of these colours in a look, this is definitely a good palette to go to. We've got this Makeup Revolution one, which I don't think I've ever even used. It's kind of just got a load of plain colours, but I guess if you don't do like mental creative makeup looks and you just do standard ones, you just want a lighter eyeshadow on or maybe a little bit of a darker one, this is definitely a palette to go to. This is called Stripped and Bare. I've got one here, the Salvation palette, which is Makeup Revolution as well. Again, haven't really used this too much. Kind of similar shades again. They've got some like weird kind of waffle looking shades here, and yeah, just again some these are all shimmers though, so these are all shimmery golds and stuff like that. Rimmel London one, which they sent me a while ago. I used this a couple of times. This is kind of a dupe for the Naked palette with Urban Decay. As you can see, very similar colours, all brown shades, and like warm tones really in that one. So I also got these two palettes from Love Shy. These are also the longer palettes, which I like. And this one is a smoky one and this one is rose gold. They did send me 4, but I've only got 2 here because I've got 2 in a giveaway. I've got a big box full of stuff for a massive giveaway when I hit 20,000 followers on Instagram. I'm currently at 17,500, so we've got a little bit of way to go, but my Instagram is in the description below, so the quicker that I get to 20k, the quicker the giveaway is going to be going out. But these palettes are amazing. This is a rose one and this one is like a darker one, so it's got the khakis, the navy blues, the blacks and stuff like that. So these are really nice and they're really good quality, they're very pigmented, so I would definitely recommend them, and that's why I'm happy to have them in the giveaway because they are very good palettes. I have one here from Eye Candy, which I also got sent, and this is actually a really pretty palette. I've still got the thing on it, but I have used it. I don't know why I put it back, but this is the palette. It's very similar to a few other palettes that I have, with, you know, the red shades, the orange kind of tones and the warm tones. So this is very similar to a few other palettes that I have. They sent me 2 of these palettes too, and so one of these is also going in a giveaway, which is why it's not here now. We've got this one from Sleek. I really like Sleek, as you'll probably notice. I've got quite a lot of their products, not just eyeshadow palettes but some other products from them as well. And this is just you know, some darker shades. We've got a lot of shimmers in here, and you can create a really nice like burgundy look with the purples and the red tones and stuff like that. Again, I haven't really used it that much though, but I do like Sleek as a brand. Another one that is my absolute go-to is this Morphe 35U palette. This, I don't know if they're still selling it, but if they are, you should definitely get your hands on it. This is the palette that I literally constantly do my makeup looks with. As you can see, it is full of usedness. It's been very used and it's very messy, but I think that's fine. I think it just shows that I really like this palette and I've used it a lot. It's got so many colours in, as you can see. These colours are really pigmented, really show up, and they're really, really good. So as you can see, like the 2 bottom sections are basically all browns and blacks, so you can also do like a smoky eye, a bronzy look, but then up here you've got so many colourful looks. Again, if you look at this palette, you could do a rainbow eye. So many rainbow eyes that I've done, or like colourful makeup looks I've done on my Instagram, have been featured with this palette. This one, which is, I think it's I Love, so this is Revolution as well, Makeup Revolution, but I think this is I Heart Makeup, and it's like a chocolate packaging, so I love this packaging. I think it's so cool and different. And inside, I haven't used this palette, I don't think I've ever used it, but inside it's just got a bunch of shades. It's got like some marble shades, which aren't very common in makeup eyeshadow palettes. I think they look good, but I don't think they work that well because, you know, this is quite a dark blue, but then if you've got white bits in it, it might make it a bit lighter. So it's not necessarily true to colour when you look at these, but they do look really cool in the packaging, that's for sure. Here is another W7 palette that I got sent. This is definitely a dupe for the Urban Decay Heat palette, which I've already shown you. This is the Blazing palette, and this is a very good dupe. It's pretty much the same, to be honest. The shimmers aren't as shimmery, and you can definitely tell, you know, this is like a foamy packaging and it's like metal. It's not as good quality as the Urban Decay one, of course, but it's much, much cheaper, so it is definitely a dupe. And if you're wanting something with them shades in it, just very cheap, this is definitely a good version. well, we've got this one from 17, which is easy on the eye. This I just had got a long time ago. Not really used it too much. I used it a couple of times. It's just all browns and light pinks really. We've got another Makeup Revolution one here, which is absolutely huge. This was actually given to me a few years ago in a Secret Santa gift, so this is a really good gift. But got all these shades in there, as you can see. This is very good for a beginner. It's got 144 shades. This is a collection of 2018, so I don't know if they're still selling it. I think they are. But look how big it is. Look how many browns you've got. This is really good. It is. I've not really used it very often at all, but I can imagine that this is very good for anyone. Like my younger sister, for example, she just come over the other day and I literally filled her up with palettes and stuff. So that's why I've got less as well, because I gave her probably about 6 eyeshadow palettes. I gave her a bunch of other makeup as well, just because she does makeup and she doesn't need to buy it herself. She's 13 years old, so if I've got makeup palettes that I've used a little bit that I don't want to put in a giveaway, because I like to give brand new products in a giveaway, then you know it's good to just give it to my little sister instead. So a few of the palettes are gone as well because of that, but this is one of them I was going to give her, but I gave her 2 like this, with one colourful, one with like, I think it was 120 shades, and 120 shades of like all browns, so she can literally go and make as many looks as she wants. We've got this palette, which I've never used. My nan bought it for me for Christmas one year, and it kind of is a bit broken. Don't know how this happened, but it is broke. But it's kind of similar to the other one. I won't open it just because I don't want it to go everywhere. But again, it's pretty much the same as the other one. So many shades in here, so many different colours that you can try out, and it's definitely good for beginners. So another one that is really good, and this comes in, this has 100 shades in it. We have a couple of Avon ones, so we have the day to night edit. It basically goes from like lighter to darker all the way up, and it's just good for like a simple eye look really. We've got this one from Avon as well. This one is the Mark edition, and this is actually really pretty. It's got like a lilac here, and then it's got a silver, a glittery black, and a glittery black with purple, a matte black with purple glitter in it. So these are really nice actually. This is one of my favourites from there actually. And I've got this Avon one as well, which is literally just black and white. So you know, for if you want in either black or white, this is actually really good. It's very handy to have something like that, just a black and white, because if you're going to need any of them, it's quick and easy to reach to. The last one is this Sleek palette. This one is Iron Cheek palette. So it's just this one, looks like that. All bronzy, kind of copper shades, rose gold. Again, pretty standard like the other ones. But yeah, that's all my palettes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would say my top 5 would be the Blood Sugar palette by Jeffree Star, the Mini Controversy palette by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, the Morphe 35U palette 100%, James Charles and Morphe palette, and probably Jeffree Star and Morphe palette, because as you can see it's either Morphe, James Charles or Jeffree Star basically. But yes, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment and subscribe. Comment down below and let me know if you have any of these palettes, which ones you like, which ones you don't like, if you need any more information on a certain palette. I didn't go into too much detail because, as I said, I've got over 50 here, so I can't go into too much detail on each one. But if you want to know more about any palettes, or you want to know more about my recommendations, definitely leave it down below. I respond to all comments, so leave your comment down below and I'll respond to you. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.